Started. So first off, anybody who's on here, I just want to say thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us tonight. I know it's a Saturday night, and the fact that you chose to spend your evening with us for a little bit means a lot. And the person that invited you to this call obviously thinks like really highly of you, so you should take that as a compliment on its own, because it takes a special kind of person to do this business, and obviously the person who invited you here thinks that you're capable of that, which is amazing. So we're here to talk about what it's like to be a mom and work this. So I'll be chatting a little bit with you guys tonight. My friend Mariah will be chatting. Mariah is, well, I'll let her get into her testimony. Same thing with Lauren. Lauren's going to be talking too. So, and if you guys have any questions throughout any of this about what it's like to be a mom and do this thing, you're going to leave it in the chat box, or if you want, you could even unmute yourself. It doesn't really matter to us. We're not shy. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the chat. So we're going to start off by kind of telling you a little bit about ourselves. So Mariah, do you want to go ahead and go first?
Sure.
I'm just going based on who's like showing up first on my screen between you.
No, it's all good. I'd be happy to. So my name's Mariah, and I have been in the business almost 2 years now. I started September of 2018, so we're coming up on 2 years. I am a full-time mom of a 15-month-old and a full-time employee at a dental office. I do the treatment coordination at my office, so I am around patients a lot, which means I don't have my phone. So I have to do a lot of time management when it comes to this business, because I can't have my phone out at work. So it takes a lot of time blocking and scheduling to make this business work. But I've done it thus far, and it's worked thus far. So I guess I'm doing something right. Let's see. I'm 25. I live in Austin, Texas, and I love what I do. It's being a mom is hard when you're in this business because you feel overwhelmed often, but I promise you, if you make a schedule and stick to it, like, it'll work. But we'll go more into that. That's a little bit about me.
Okay, question for you. What made you jump into this business?
The fact that I was pregnant was like the biggest reason for me. My friend Amber, who's on this call now, who's also in my upline, was doing the business for a while, and I saw that it was successful for her, and I had no knowledge of anything direct sales, and I was a little bit of a skeptic at first, but I saw that it was working for her, and her hair was like looking gorgeous. So I was like, what do I have to lose? So I was kind of the person that, we went to lunch one day and she told me about it, and I was like, I just jumped in immediately because she's a friend of mine and I trust her. But the main reason was because I was pregnant, and I wanted to, after I had my son, I wanted to have the time flexibility, and I wanted to have the time freedom to work less at the office, because I knew that I needed to build my business. I wasn't one of those people that was an overnight success person with all these followers on Instagram. So I knew I was going to have to work a little bit harder. So I set a goal for myself to do well in this business to where I wouldn't have to work as much at my full time, and eventually taper off completely my full time and do this full time. So that was why I started. My son has been my reason why still till this day, and climbing myself out of debt, which I have been doing, which has been a blessing, and actually saving money because of this business, which has been incredible.
I love it so much, because our stories are just so similar. Okay, Lauren, go ahead and share. I want to hear from you.
Okay, I'm so nervous. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Lauren. I am 24. I don't know how old I am. That's how you know I'm a mom. I have 3 boys. My oldest just turned 4, and then I have a 2.5-year-old, and my baby is gonna be 1 next month. I'm really sad about it, you guys. I'm a military wife. My husband is in the Army. I've been a stay-at-home mom since I've been an adult, basically. Like I got pregnant with my first son at 19, and yeah, that's really all. That's literally my life, is just being a mom. So there's not much more to know about me. I love food and wine and Trulies and the beach. That's pretty much it. I'm boring, you guys. So what was the next question? Why did I do this?
Yeah, why'd you jump into the business?
Okay, so the whole point of me being a stay-at-home mom was like to be present and raise my boys, and I didn't want to add anything else to my plate that would take away from them. But like I said earlier, my husband is in the military, and being a single military income is rough, you guys. And I wanted to give my boys everything, and I wanted to give my husband everything. And I just kind of came to a point where I was like, I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck and having to budget for everything and never being able to travel. And my husband drives a beat up old car, and it's like, I just wanted more for my family and for my kids. And I was scared that doing something like this would take away from that, but I actually feel like it's made me a better mom. I'm better at like time management and all of that kind of stuff. So I feel like my kids are not only benefiting from me being able to financially provide, but just being a better version of myself for them.
So happy. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm going to go ahead and go into my story because it's a little wild. So my name is Emily. I have been with Monate since, January of 2018. So about 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years now. And whenever I jumped into this whole thing, my sweet friend Haley, she was posting about some crazy shampoo, and she wouldn't stop talking about it on social media, but she was sharing like really honestly and raw, and that's what really got me interested in it. I had never thought about any other direct sales company before, but at the time, I'm married. Me and my husband have been together now for almost 5 years, and we were both in school. I was a senior in college at Tarleton State University, and on top of that, we were both working full-time 40-hour-a-week jobs, and we were struggling to pay an $800 rent. And to add more on top of that, I was pregnant with twin girls, so that was really cool. And we were not expecting that. We were not trying. We were not prepared, and the whole time we were like, okay, we're going to make a savings. We're going to make a savings. We're going to make savings. Never did it. And then to make matters worse, we didn't have a car that would fit we didn't have a car that would fit twins. So we needed to get something bigger. So we had to buy a new car, and us being stupid college kids bought something we probably couldn't have afforded at the time. And so we had an extra $400 car payment on top of that when we were already struggling with our $800 rent, So we needed something. We needed some sort of a Hail Mary. Didn't know what to do. So I saw Haley posting about that, and she just shared about it in a different way. And so I talked with her and was like, okay, let's do it. And now I've been here 2.5 years. I actually have another baby now. His name is Brooks, and he is 6 months old, about to be 7 months old. And since joining this company, well, I can actually get into that a little bit. We're going to talk about that a little bit lately, but it's completely changed my life pretty much. If I had to go back and do it again, I would do the exact same thing over again. I would say yes over and over and over again. So that's a little bit about me. I'm from Dallas, Texas, also 25, 3 kids under 3. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, let me tell you. So, fitting this job into my day-to-day life it wasn't like, I was nervous about it at first, but it fits so seamlessly into my day-to-day life. And it's exactly why I joined this business, was because I wanted to be able to stay home with my kids. And on top of that, how in the world am I, we were struggling to pay rent. How in the world was I going to be able to afford to put 2 kids in daycare on top of that? It just didn't make sense. So, this made sense to me. I wanted to provide for my family somehow, some way, but I still wanted to be able to stay home with my kids. So this gave me that opportunity. And on top of that, my hair was not good at all. My hair was nasty. I mean, you hear about people who are pregnant, they have like the most beautiful, luscious locks. Like that was not me. I did not have nice hair at all. If anything, it got worse. And on top of that, I'm the kind of person who's horrible at keeping up with hair care, like getting my hair done regularly. So my bleach blonde was like brassy, nasty, gross, hadn't been done in about 2 years, like so bad. So I needed some help, and these products helped big time for me. So it was just kind of a plus all around. It just made sense in my brain, to do something like this. So okay, Mariah, I want to ask you, what were your biggest hesitations with joining this business as a mom, or just in general, really?
Okay, thanks. You did it for me.
I got you.
Okay, well, I was pregnant when I started, so I didn't really know how to feel yet, because I was a mom, but I didn't have like the actions as a mom to be like, I wasn't taking care of a kid yet. But I will say I was nervous after having him, still doing the business, because I was worried I wouldn't have enough time to fit the business into my schedule, because I didn't know how a newborn was going to be. And I just didn't know. I was just going with it. But I will tell you that I was hesitant about, after he was born, how it was all going to play out. And also failing very, very badly after he was born, because I was like doing pretty well when I had first started, and then I started getting bigger, and I was like, oh my God, I'm about to pop. And I'm like, I don't know like how I'm going to feel after I have him, and like, what if I fail? So those were my main two things. What if I fail, and what if I have him and I just don't have time to fit this in anymore? Because I have seen my friends and heard stories, and like, it's crazy. So that's what I was worried about. Little did I know, after I had him, like I just fit it seamlessly into my schedule also. And it worked out, and I just kept being consistent, and I was building my customer base, and I was slowly building my team, and I just made it work. And it works if you stay consistent and make it work that way. So yeah, those were my two hesitations: failing and not having enough time.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a pretty general consensus. And like, I'm glad that you actually admit the whole failing thing, because I feel like that's something that not a lot of people admit right off the bat. I mean, you hear a bunch of other like hesitations and reasons for not wanting to join this business, and it's very rare you actually hear somebody say that, like, what if I fail? So I'm glad that you addressed that, because I mean, here you are 2 years later still doing it. And somebody said to me a long time ago, the only way to fail is to quit. And honestly, that has rang true through this entire thing. So I appreciate you for like being willing to admit that that's something that you were like scared of. So okay, Lauren, what about you? What were your big hesitations in this?
Similar to Mariah's, I did not want to be, right? I feel like majority of us, we all probably know somebody in direct sales. And I was a direct sales hater. Okay. Like this was slimy and skeezy to me. And every time somebody on my timeline joined a direct sales, I was like, oh, here we go. Their timeline's just going to throw up whatever direct sales company they joined, and that's all it's going to be about. And it's just going to, right. And I haven't talked to them in 5 years, and they're going to reach out to me, ask me to buy some BS. So I think because I was so afraid of that, that is totally the opposite of who I am now as somebody in a direct sales company. But that was one of my big hesitations, is like, what are people going to think of me? Like, here's another stay-at-home mom who joined a direct sales company, and like, great, like, and then they would just kind of like watch me turn into this like weirdo direct sales person. So that was one of my number one fears. What are people going to think of me? Are people going to support me? Yeah, kind of scared of failure at the same time, right? Like, what are people going to think of me? And then are they not going to support me, and I'm just going to fall flat on my face? Like, and this is not going to work out. And then the other thing too, right? The whole point of me, I already had my children when I started this. And the whole point of me being a stay-at-home mom is to stay at home and to be present with them and to not miss the little things, and right, not having to send them to daycare all day. So I was worried that adding something like this to my plate would take away from that. And I feel like starting your own business is like another child. Like you have to nurture it and take care of it and all that stuff. And so I was scared that I was just going to become like so like that it was just gonna kind of take over and then take away from my boys. But like I said, I feel like it hasn't done that. I actually feel like I'm a better mom because I can manage my time better now. Because I know how important it is to like put my phone down and stop the work for a little bit to be a mom.
Yeah. So I was actually the same as you. I had like 3 main hesitations whenever I was getting started with this. And the first one was like the whole like direct sales skeptic thing. So it not only did I have friends who had done direct sales in the past and they failed miserably. I'll just be straight up. Like they did not do well. They were the people who like you saw post about it for a couple of months and then after that you didn't hear from it ever again. And I didn't want to be that person that people are like, ah, she's exactly same as you. She's a stay-at-home mom. She's gonna go join a direct sales company now. Like it is what it is. Oh well. So I didn't want to be that person that everybody was like, well, here she is joining her company. Let's wait and see it fizzle out. Like I didn't want to be that. And that was why I was such a skeptic of it because I had seen so many other people go through that and just like fail, you know, and I didn't want that to be me. I didn't want that to be my story, but you know, I saw how this was different and I saw an opportunity to make something of myself in a different way, you know. Another big hesitation of mine was the money aspect of it. I was a broke person. We did not have money at all. So dishing out money to buy a product pack at the time like didn't make sense to me. But I knew that I wanted more for myself and I saw the vision with it. I saw what was possible with this. And on top of that, she told me, my friend Haley told me about the Smart Start program, which for anybody who doesn't know what Smart Start is, it's actually a bonus program that we have set up in the beginning, your first 2 to 3 months in this company that basically helps you make money while you build a team or you build your client base or whatever it is. So like you hear most businesses starting out, like they don't make their investment back for 2 years. I think that's the average, just like 2 years. Whereas this is different. They try and help you make your investment back as soon as possible. And on top of that, they help you make even more than that while you're building a regular client base. That spoke volumes to me, the opportunities that you can make, like actually make money with this too. So that was big. And then my last thing was, Mom, you lose a lot of friends. I'm just going to be honest about it. Like I lost every single close friend that I had when I became a mom. And it sucks. It sucked in the moment and looking back, like it happened for a reason and it was okay. But I was really worried that I wouldn't have any support because of it. I was worried I didn't think I had a big enough network. Like I lost the only close friends I had by me. So I knew I can ask them about this. That wasn't going to be an okay thing. But I really didn't think I knew enough people. And on top of that, I'm an extreme, you may not know this just by hearing me talk on here. I mean, I'm talking on a live video right now, which is something I never would have imagined doing 2.5 years ago. But like, you're looking at somebody who's an introverted person. I'm extroverted when I have to be, example, right now. But like, if you meet me in person, I'm probably going to shy away. That's just how I am. And I didn't think that I could talk to people. I didn't think I could learn how to talk to people on top of that. But this business proves everything wrong in all of those aspects. So, you know, first off, I realized my network is bigger than I really think it is. And on top of that, we teach you how to make connections with people and how to and we don't even necessarily have to teach you how to do that. You know how to make genuine connections with people. So this just kind of helps enhance that and like pushes me to do it a little bit more and like actually focus on building those connections, which in the end really works out because like I never would have met Mariah or Lauren or Amber or anybody else on this call if it weren't for this. Well, Amber, I knew you before. Like we wouldn't have gotten as close as we are now if it weren't for this, if it weren't for this company pushing you to build those genuine relationships with people and like really get to know them. So, you know, I didn't think I had a big enough network and I lost all my friends, but I ended up gaining all of them back. You know, that's something I never could have imagined from this. So, okay, Mariah, you were talking about worrying about making this fit earlier. So how do you make this fit into your day-to-day busy mom life? I mean, you've got a full-time job on top of having a little one. So, like, what does your day-to-day life look like? How do you make this fit in?
Okay, so I will say first and foremost, if you do not make your calendar, if you do not own your calendar, your calendar is going to own you. Like, you have to get a calendar or a planner first if you're not an organized person, because I didn't start off and I'm still working on it because I'm like total messy action person. But I got a calendar and I worked with it, and I realized that if I don't write things on my calendar because I work full time and I am a full-time mom, then I most likely will procrastinate and not get things done. So you have to time block, you have to time manage, and you have to schedule things. And sometimes that means scheduling time with your hubby or whatever, because you're an ambitious person, and when you're an entrepreneur, I guess that's just what you have to do. So for me, I am speaking from someone who, doesn't stay at home. I do work. So I have to, when I'm at work, I work at a healthcare office. So I'm around patients, and I can't really be around my phone, especially during these weird times, because we're having all these new safety protocols that we're having to do, and like wearing gloves and taking temperatures. And I have no, it was my first week back at work, like this past week, and I have no time to look at my phone whatsoever. So when I work Tuesday through Friday, because luckily I get Mondays off, I do not really do anything Monat related within those times, because I'm a 100% person. And when I'm working, I give 100%. It's the same thing at my full time. When I'm working Monat, I give my 100%. So when I'm at my full time, that's what I'm doing. So when I wake up in the morning, I give myself an hour earlier to wake up, to drink my coffee, and to write out what I'm going to be doing for the day, to check emails, to follow up with people. Like, truly, it is hard to do, because when you have kids, it's like, well, shit, I already wake up early, but you have to wake up an hour earlier to get your shit done. So I would highly advise to do that if you're trying to fit this into your schedule. So I do emails and all that. I wake up at 5 every morning, and I do that. I have to be at work by 7:30, so it works out. I get my son ready, but I wake up at 5, and I have that extra 30 minutes to do that. When I get home from work is basically my time to work this business. So 8 o'clock until 9, because I tell myself I want to spend time with my son when I get home, because he deserves that presence from me, just like all of y'all's kids do. They deserve that. So I always tell my team, and I tell everyone else, I don't want to do any work until he goes to bed. So I do work from 8 until 9, or from 8 until 10 p.m., because you really only need 1 to 2 hours a day to make this business work, believe it or not. So that's what my schedule looks like Tuesday through Friday. Now, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I am a lot more available because I'm not working. So I make sure that I am kind of making up for the time the rest of the week, and holding power hours, interacting on social media, pretty much when my son naps from 12 until 1. And then I do more work at night. But I will say, if you have a social media and you're a mom, then at any time you're on social media is basically working. So just know that if you have social media, which it's 2020, I'm sure all of y'all do, you can take advantage and monetize from that time on social media, believe it or not. So time blocking, getting a calendar and sticking to it, because you can let your calendar own you. I've done it before. I've schlumped, and I've watched Netflix instead, because I've gotten overwhelmed, and I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to do. I'm just going to drink wine and watch Dead to Me season 2. Okay. So I've been there, and I tell myself, follow the schedule. It makes things so much easier. Listen to self-development and entrepreneurial podcasts. I love doing those. Those help me a lot. Read books when you can that help you with your business. Any time that you could be watching Netflix when your kids are napping are times that you can be working your business. That's what I have.
Yes, exactly. I love that. I remember somebody had said that whenever I first joined this business. You get it, like you have to put whatever it is that you're wanting at the forefront, because it's like you can either go sit and watch Netflix and not get anything done, or you can get closer to your dream that you want. You know, how bad do you actually want it? And I think it's so good. So Lauren, how about you? So you're a full-time stay-at-home mom, but you've also got a lot of kids. So how do you make this fit into your day to day?
A lot of kids. A lot of kids. So usually I'm gonna be honest. My oldest boys usually wake up before me and they get a banana off the counter and then they like want to watch a TV show to wake up. And I'm like, you know what, that's great. So then I will kind of like go through my phone really quick, right? If I've gotten like messages while I was asleep or if I have emails I need to send out, I will do that all like right before I get up. And then when the baby gets up, get him up, right? Make coffee, breakfast, do all the mom stuff. And then, right, my days are kind of in blocks too, right? When the baby goes down for a nap, that's when the boys have quiet time and I will get more work done, right? And everybody gets up and it's more mom and playtime. And then, like dinner time, it kind of starts our bedtime routine. So my phone is like put away. So we do dinner, bath, books, we clean up the playroom, and then we go to bed. And I'm like 100% like zoned in on my kids during that time. Like that is our precious time. It's like my favorite time of the day. So, and then after they go to bed, right, I enjoy being around my husband. I feel very blessed to actually enjoy being around my husband. So usually we will like watch a show, whatever. But my husband, again, he's in the military, so he has to wake up super early. So he's usually like conked out by like 9 o'clock. So I will usually like get back on the computer or whatever and do more work. Then, right, again, it's just nooks and crannies is what I call it, you guys. I struggled really hard in the beginning, and I still struggle with it some days, right, of just being readily available for people, right? I feel like when like a potential VIP or potential market partner messages me, like I need to respond right away or else like I'm going to lose them as a lead. And I've had to work on that, right? Like I used to be like in the middle of a store, like with my whole family and like sending VIP cards and stuff. And I was like, okay, I cannot do this anymore. Like I need to be more focused like in each thing, right? I wasn't giving anything that I was doing 100%. So now I have made time for it where I can give everybody exactly what they're needing. My customers, my team, my family, all of that. Again, nooks and crannies. I literally told a market partner today because she said she didn't have time. And I was like, go to the bathroom and act like you're taking a poop and reach out to some people. I was like, you got 5 minutes. You can do a lot in 5 minutes with this business. You can sign a market partner. You can send a VIP card. There's so much you can do in a little bit of time, you guys. Like it does not take 40 hours a week to build this business. I've done so much from my toilet, hiding from my children. And it's just the truth. Like sometimes you just got to sneak away and you're like, okay, I can do something in these like 3 minutes that I have away from my brood of children.
Accurate. So true. Accurate. Yeah. So, okay. So I love that you kind of brought up the idea of boundaries, because I know that's something that I had to learn big time in this. So I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom as well. I don't have to work. I've also got 3 kids. So like it's full house madness 24/7 over here. And like I personally have had to learn the idea of boundaries and like making sure that when I'm spending time with my kids, I'm actually spending time with my kids. Because it's so easy to like pick up your phone and be like, oh, what's on Instagram today? Like, you know, so, you know, that is a little bit of a learning curve that you do have to figure out as a mom whenever you're joining this business. I mean, the whole reason we do this business is so we can spend time with our kids, you know, most of us at least. That's like the reason why we do this, is because we want to be with our kids. We want to have one-on-one time with them and like actually be present with them. So it does take a little bit of learning at first. But you know, once you get the hang of it, you're like, it fits so seamlessly. Like I'm the same way as Lauren. Our schedules look pretty similar. You know, wake up, check messages and emails real quick in the morning, go get all the kids up, breakfast, lunch, you know, breakfast, all the things, you know, playtime. Usually in the mornings, my kids are the same way. They watch a movie in the morning to wake up and everything. So I get a lot of stuff done during nap time. But other than that, it's like, oh, I need to go take a poop. Okay. See you for 5 minutes. Let me go and, you know, have this conversation with somebody real quick. Let me go shout some people out on my team, or, you know, check in on people, whatever it may be. Like, it's so easy to fit it in because, you know, it's not something that takes a long time. You're literally sending messages to people and talking to them. So when I say sending messages, by the way, we don't cold message. That is one thing on this team. Well, other teams may be different, but like my organization personally, we're not going to randomly message people that we don't know or people that we haven't talked to since middle school. Like that's not a thing here. So I just want to preface that for you guys so you guys know what we're about. Like that's not how we do things, because that was a big hesitation of mine joining this company. I don't want to message random people. So whenever I say talking to people, like you're gonna have genuine conversations with real people. But having a text conversation or sending a voice message real quick doesn't take a long time, you know. And then same thing for me. My husband goes to bed pretty early. He leaves to go to work at 5 a.m. So he's in bed pretty early too, usually. And if not, then he's up with me and he knows that it's my time to work. Because, you know, dinner time, same thing for us. Dinner time, bedtime is like sacred time. So I try and spend that time like seriously devoted to my family. And my husband is also like, you know, I spend time with my wife, which I love that. And I want to spend time with him too, nurturing our relationship. So spending that time with him at the end of the day to same thing, watch a show, play a game, dance in the kitchen, like whatever it may be that we're doing that night, doesn't matter. Eating cookies, that's our favorite pastime. That is sacred time, and I don't want to give that up because that's part of why I do this business, so I can spend time with him too. And then he goes to bed, work time, and that's it. Like that's it, it's so simple. It's not like an obnoxious amount of work, you know. What I want to get across is that you're not doing a crap ton of stuff. You don't have a forever long to-do list. And if you do, it's easy to split up throughout the week, so it works out. But okay, on to the next thing. So, Mariah, what all have you learned as a mom with this business? What are your biggest takeaways? What have been your greatest blessings from this? So I guess that's kind of like a two-part question. What have you learned, and then what have you earned? What have you learned and earned from this business?
Okay, I wrote some notes down here because I'm just off the grid all the time. But biggest takeaways is just don't think too much and do it. Emily actually made this analogy, I don't know, maybe yesterday. It was on some live and I was like, wow, that really resonated with me. But like, I'm giving you credit, so I hope you don't think I'm like stealing this from you by any means, but like it's the same thing where you're like waking up in the morning and you're like really like, well, you make plans the night prior and you're like, okay, I'm gonna work out in the morning and it's gonna be great and blah blah blah. So you know, when you wake up, you set your alarm goes off and you're like, I'm not working out, like I'm gonna sleep in like an extra 2 hours, like I'm too tired. Like you can't even give yourself time to think about getting up, putting your shoes on and working out. Like that is what you need to do when it comes to this business, because you can't give yourself time to think. You have to do it because opportunity is knocking. And believe it or not, if you're on this call, it's for a reason, truly. And so I want y'all to take this as like one of those opportunities that's like, okay, like this is like the last straw. I've been seeing these people post this on Instagram, so I'm on this call and like you need to do it. Not caring what people think of you. Are we talking about my biggest takeaway? Okay, so that's another big takeaway for me, is that I have learned that people's opinions of me, I have cared less. I shouldn't say that I don't care at all because I'd be lying. But I will say that when I started this business, I was like, I had to be perfect on Instagram all the time. And I had to like really, eye what I was posting and make sure that it looked like a certain way. And now I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I don't care, because the people that are going to follow me and support me are still doing it after almost 2 years. So I would hope that like the people that really don't like what I'm posting would have unfollowed me by now. but truly, like this, when people say that this business brings personal development to you, like it will, I want to say something so bad, but Ren is here, so I'm not going to say it, but it will butt molest you. It will butt molest you in the best way. Personal development will butt molest you. And you won't even know that it's there and you're working it actively until you like let yourself go in this business. And I will tell you that the community of people, the ladies that are on this call and that are doing this business have really, really helped with my personal development and myself, letting myself know that it's okay to be myself. My customers are still going to buy from me. People are still going to support me. And it's just, I could go into that for a while, but being yourself is my biggest takeaway. You don't have to be someone you're not in this business, because people want to be able to relate to you. And if they can, they'll feel comfortable to buy from you and be your friend and talk to you and build that relationship. Another big takeaway that I want y'all to know is that you can have both motherhood and ambition. I'm so sick of hearing mothers. I'm so sick of hearing mothers in their schlumpy ways, just like, I can't do this because I'm a mom. And it's like, yes, you can. You can have both, and you can work this business. If you make a schedule, you can make it work. You can be ambitious and you can do this. You just have to start, and you have to be consistent.
It's like, how bad do you want it?
Exactly. Yeah. How bad do you want it? I mean, you can be schlumpy and you can give yourself excuses, or you can let yourself do it. And for me, I've been really like talking about limiting beliefs, because I really think it's a thing, and it sucks that people are doing it, but they're truly predicting an outcome that hasn't even happened yet. And they haven't even like tried this endeavor, and they're already predicting something that hasn't happened. Like, I'm going to fail at this, or people are going to laugh at me, or I am not going to have enough time for this. It's like, you haven't even tried. How can you say that? But for me, knowing that you can have both, and then also a blessing throughout this whole business was the community and the friends that I got, that I didn't know that I was going to have, because I didn't care for it. I mean, when I was pregnant, I didn't really like lose friends yet. Until I had my son, I realized that nobody was really wanting to like hang out with someone who had a newborn anymore. I slowly noticed my friends who I thought were friends, like slowly dissipating off the map. So these girls have been my right hand, and they truly are people that like want to see you succeed and are not catty by like at all, and are just really uplifting. And it's not fake. It's not fake at all. It's real what you see, and it's hard to find that genuinity. Did I say that right?
I don't know if that's a word, but okay.
I think it is.
I don't know.
It's really hard to find that genuineness anywhere. So the fact that these girls are like truly that way, and like there's nothing fake about it, is awesome. And then another blessing is obviously being able to save, to actually like have a decent paycheck from this and save money and contribute more, and not just work at the dental office and like work paycheck to paycheck. Like, I can actually do this and save money. And like, I mean, we just like bought furniture for our new house, and like all the money that I made from money, I've been putting in savings, and it's just been a blessing to have contribute that way and not just get by anymore. So those are my blessings and takeaways.
Okay, Lauren, what are your biggest lessons learned? What have you learned? What have you earned?
Okay, so I'm kind of going to piggyback off of Mariah was saying about like you can be a mother and have ambition and all of that stuff, because like I said, I've basically been a mother my entire adult life. I got pregnant with Jackson when I was 19. I've been married since I was 19. Like I've never had anything that was my own, really. Like I've always been a mom. I've pretty much always been a wife. So I have learned like it's okay to have something that is mine. like I felt selfish purchasing my product pack. Again, I think because I was afraid of failing, and then I was like, okay, well, that's just gonna be like a big waste of money that like could have been spent on something else, but it wasn't. Shocker. But so yeah, I've kind of taken that away. Like, it's okay to have something that is mine. It's okay to have something that fills my cup outside of my children, like to be passionate about helping other women and all of that stuff. Like, it's good to have those things that are just yours. You don't have to be a mom 24/7. Like, you can do things for yourself and self-care and all of that stuff and self-development. I feel like I'm just piggybacking off of everything Mariah said, but it's the truth. Like, I never like listening to podcasts and like all that crap. I never did that before. And now like I do it all the time. Like, it feels so good right now. I just want to be the best version of myself that I can be for myself, but also for my family and for my husband and for all of those things. And I was like, never in a million years did I think a direct sales company that I thought was so skeezy would make me want to be a better version of myself. Like, I never, right? You look at people who do direct sales sometimes and you're like, gross. And I'm like, no, like, this is just not to be that person either. But I'm like, Monet is just so different. And it's just given me so much more than I ever thought it was. Again, the community, like Mariah said, I was that girl in high school that didn't really have a lot of friends anyway. I have like one girlfriend from high school that I still even talk to. Right. And then I had kids and I had nobody. We had also like moved across the country, right, to our first duty station. We live in Colorado. We were 28-hour drive from home. So I had nobody. And it's just, and I was kind of used to that, right? It was just kind of me and my kids, and I was fine with that. I was like, I'm not really looking for friends. I'm not that kind of person. I'm pretty independent and just like happy with myself. And so then when I joined and I got all these like girlfriends, I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is so right. But it's more than just having girlfriends, right? They're not gonna, a lot of the girls in my high school, right, they were like best friends to your face and they talk shit about you to everybody else. And I've never really been a part of a group of women who aren't like that until this, like seeing how everybody rallies for each other to hit ranks and hit their goals and all of that stuff. I was like, I didn't know that this existed, like in a group of women, which is crazy and sad, but you know, so there's a lot. Again, I could ramble, but there's so much. But I think the biggest one is that it's okay to have something that fills your cup outside of your children, that you can be a good mom and build a business. You can have both, and it's okay to have both, and it's good to have both.
Yeah. You basically just said everything I wanted to say, but I mean, like that, like, I'm not even going to speak on that because like, that is exactly the takeaway that you would get from this whole thing is like, you can do both and it's okay. And if anything, like, for me personally, it has made me a better mom and it has made me a better wife.
Yes.
Because like Mariah was talking about the personal development aspect. I never ever would have thought about doing personal development and reading any books in the personal development section of the Barnes and Noble. Like, that's not something I ever did. In fact, I didn't even really read that much beforehand. So not saying that you have to read whenever you join this business. It's not like homework or anything, just so you know. But like, we try, like, it's not just about building a business to make money. It's not just about making some friends or going on free trips or getting a car. It's about becoming a more well-rounded and like just an all-around better human being. I mean, even in the company, we have a whole section of the company specifically for gratitude efforts and like giving back to the community. It's about being a better human being. So we pour a lot of time into personal development about like learning who you truly are as a person and what makes you tick and what makes you strong and what makes you weak and who, like, what are your childhood, you know, like all kinds of things that just kind of come into one to make you as a human. And we help you realize that. Well, we don't. You will go out and do that yourself because you'll see other people doing it and you'll be like, I'm curious. What is this? Like, I post all the time about the Enneagram and people ask me all the time, what is that? And then I'm just like, you don't know? You need to know. You need to buy this book now. And like, it's insane. So Like, we encourage getting to know yourself, and in turn, that's going to, like, if you know yourself, you know how to fix whatever it is, or you will know what you need to do and recognize whenever you need to fix something, or like when you're a strong person, when you're a weak person, whatever. And that's going to in turn make you a better mom. You're going to know how to parent. Like, you're going to notice stuff that came from your parents that was passed down to you through your childhood, and you're going to know like how to switch that over and, you know, stop whatever those negative traits could be. Or you're going to know how to be a better wife to your husband if you have a husband, or just a better, like, literally all around better human being, seriously. So we're going to go ahead and close out with two things real quick. So Mariah, I want to ask you two things. First off, I want you to brag on yourself. What have you gotten from this company? Like, accomplishments. I want you to go into detail. Tell me, what have you literally done with this company since you started? And then second piece, I want you to give a piece of advice for any moms who are thinking about joining this. I know you kind of already did that a little bit, but I want you to keep going with it.
Yeah, unmute. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Yeah. So the first thing that truly comes to my mind as a big takeaway is self-confidence. That is the biggest thing that I have gained throughout the business. And I guess that goes along the lines of just being comfortable in your own skin. Because I had an issue with that for like the longest time. And I have just learned to put myself out there like unapologetically. And I have like had the best feedback from it. And I've inspired people that I didn't think that I could, and impacted people that I didn't think that I could. And maybe they're just telling me what I want to hear. But like, you know, I like me being comfortable in my own skin, and like, especially over social media, because it's just such a tainted world and like so skewed, and, you know, it's kind of not a good place to be sometimes, because we just get in our own head about playing the comparison game all the time. So self-confidence and being comfortable in my own skin was the biggest takeaway. Are we talking about like really detailed
accomplishments? What have you literally done? What have you been able to pay for? What have you earned? Like, brag.
Okay, so when I was pregnant, we were able to like fund my whole, like my son's entire nursery, which I'm sure you guys have probably heard about, but I like had a vision in mind, and we were able to like buy pretty much everything for that. So that was amazing. And let's see, I hit top 3% of the company in November of this year, right? Yeah, November of this year. So that was a huge accomplishment, because when I first started, yeah, it's technically last year, you're right. When I first started, I didn't even know that that was even a possibility. But when you hit top 3, I guess is it 2% now? Did they change it to 2%?
They haven't given out specifications about it yet. So
okay. Well, when you hit a certain rank,
we'll say top 5 at least.
Yeah, top 5 at least, you get a huge promotion. So that was a huge deal for me, because I didn't think that that was what I was signing up for. Like I said, I just kind of jumped into it and trusted Amber and myself. And so that was really cool. I have been able to pay off a lot of my medical debt. Actually, I just paid off my last medical debt a month ago. And I'm saying this, I'm pointing like this ferociously, because they still haven't taken it off my credit report, and I'm pissed about it because it's paid off. So yeah, that was a huge deal. And then I still have some student loans that I am now, all of the money that I am making, I am putting in savings and working towards getting those student loans off. But all my medical debt is actually like completely cleared, which is amazing. And we've been able to save, like I've been able to take all of my money and that I've made from this company and put it into my savings, which I didn't even really have a savings like before I was pregnant. Like when I was pregnant, I started saving money from this business. Like, cause like I said, my full time was kind of like a paycheck to paycheck thing. So the fact that I had this extra money to do that was really, really cool. So
yeah, there was literally one day where Mariah and I got together and we were like, we're having a self-care day. And we went out, got brunch together, and then we went and got massages, and it's like
so nice.
never would have been able to do before.
Yeah.
But also, can we talk about the fact that Mariah has earned a free trip to Vegas?
Oh my God, how could I forget? Yes, I'm
Supposed to go in
sorry.
April, but it keeps getting moved because, you know, COVID. But, you know.
I did earn a free trip to Vegas, which is like fucking insane. Yeah, truly, you do not have to be at the tippy top of the company to qualify for these trips, which is the coolest thing, because you can be like not even at the middle of the compensation plan. Like if you just put in work, then you can earn these free trips. So yes, that is something that I earned, and I was really proud of.
Okay, so one piece of advice you have for anybody wanting to join.
You can have both, like I was saying earlier, motherhood and ambition. And you already have an advantage, girlfriend. Like you are a mom. Do you know what that means? Like you already know how to multitask, okay? You already are efficient with your time, okay? Okay, you are like okay on time management, like everything. Time management can always be worked on, but like you are already like wearing all these different hats. Like you can have your own business. Just don't think too much.
I like that. Okay, Lauren. Shameless plug. And then, so Lauren joined in, what was it, January or February?
January
Yeah.
15th or something.
Yeah, so she's been doing this lesson, or just 4 months?
Right. February,
7.5
March,
months?
May, like 4.5.
Yeah. Okay, so shameless plug. Tell us what you got in 4.5 months of this. And then advice for anybody wanting to join.
Okay. I feel, see, this is one of the things I need to work on. But like I don't like to talk about myself. But I hit Market Builder for the first time yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah, so I am 1 rank away from being top 3%. And then I'll be like 2 ranks away from a Cadillac? Like crazy. And I've been doing this, for 4.5 months. That feels really good. I really never thought, like, when I joined, I hit the ground running. Like I told myself, everybody knows if you're on this call, you are on my team. You know, my motto is success is the only option. And I literally just told myself that. I still tell myself that like every single day. I'm never going to let myself, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to fail. Like we can only go up from here. And I'm proud of myself for sticking to that, I guess, because I'm doing it and I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to hear monetarily, what all have you been able to do?
Okay, so first month, since I have joined, let's see. I made my money back in like a week. So I got the $199 pack for anybody who wants to know. I got my money back in like a week. My first like in-person event that I held, I made my money back, and that was like 4 or 5 days later. I hit MMP, so I hit the first rank in 2 weeks. And since I have joined, I have made enough or more to pay for my car payment and our mortgage, which together are like, can I say that? Like how much that is?
Go for it. If you want, if you feel comfortable.
Okay, so we lease a 2019 Honda Odyssey, and if y'all don't know, fucking minivans are expensive. So our car payment is like almost $600, and our mortgage, thank the Lord, we just refinanced. So, but it's still like $1,300. So I've been able to either save that much or make the payment since I have joined in January. So
that's freaking insane.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Oh, and okay, so this is really exciting. It made me feel really good. So my oldest son, he turned 4 in March, and it didn't happen because of this whole COVID stuff, but Jurassic Quest was coming to Savannah, and it's like all these like giant, like real life looking dinosaurs. And I bought tickets for our whole family to go. So that was something that I did with my Monate money. And then my baby is turning 1 in June, and I bought all of his birthday presents with my Monate money. And like never in my motherhood have I been able to do something like that. So that's exciting. That's more exciting than paying bills, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, and one piece of advice.
Oh, just do it. I feel like that's going to be your advice from everybody, but just like, don't wait. Don't be scared. If you, I don't know, everybody's going to have all kinds of hesitations. You don't have the money. That's a reason to do it. You don't have the time. Find the time. Like I said, you can do it while you're taking a poop. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what your excuses are. If you're scared, I get it. If you're scared of failing, if you're scared of like stepping out of your comfort zone.
We all were. This, like talking to a bunch of strangers, not my thing. No, thank you. I don't want to do that. But here I am anyway, right? I've made some amazing friends. Like, just don't wait. Just don't wait. And what is that saying? Like, do something today that will make you proud a year from now. So a year from now, you don't want to still be waiting and like thinking like, oh, like where could I be if I would have joined a year ago? So don't be you in a year wishing you would have started today. Literally everybody says, I wish I would have joined sooner.
Yeah.
Because of that exact reason. Because it's like, how much farther could I be right now? Yeah, I see Hannah shaking her head. She was a VIP of mine for like a hot minute, like well over a year, if not 2 years. So, okay. I've been with this company for 2.5 years. I have a very long list of accomplishments. So I'm going to try and sum it up quickly. Because I don't want to keep us longer than an hour, because I didn't even expect this to go an hour, but we got a lot to talk about. So I originally joined this business to be able to pay a car payment. At the very least, or cover groceries or whatever, start a savings, like some small amount. I was absolutely able to do that. Like that part. And don't get me wrong, this takes hard work. I don't want you guys to think that this is just some easy thing that you're going to jump into and it's like all going to be laid out on a platter in front of you. Like you have to get out of your comfort zone and be willing to put in effort, you know? So just have to preface this with this. This is all because of determination and hard work and willing to step out of my comfort zone, because I had blinders on and all I could see was the end game. I know what I want and I know what I want out of this business. And I know that is possible as long as I keep my blinders on and keep going. I just have to preface all of this with that. So wanted to pay a car payment. Easy money. Easy peasy. I have earned now 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've earned 4 trips now with this company. 2 to Vegas, because we took a yearly trip to Vegas. I've earned both of those. Last year, I earned a trip it was an all-inclusive trip to Cancun. I earned that trip. This year, I earned an all-inclusive trip to the Dominican Republic, which, by the way, if you join now, you can still technically qualify, because qualifications go through July. So I have earned that trip. I'm in the process. I have almost earned the opportunity for my husband to go as well. So, that's the next goal. All-inclusive. Brian's my husband. We've never been on any sort of like fancy shopping vacation. In fact, I took him to Vegas with me the first time we went. And that was like our honeymoon. And we at the time we had been together 4 years already. And that was our first real vacation together, just the 2 of us. So, the fact that I'm able to get that is insane. Like we can travel, and we never imagined being able to travel before. I've been able to buy groceries for my family. I've been able, my paychecks can pay all of our bills right now. We have no problem with that. So, my husband's income is just supplemental income. Well, I guess technically my income is just the supplemental income, but whatever. So been able to do that. What else? Gosh, there's a really long list. I had to take on a part-time job at one point. Mainly for an internship my senior year of school. And originally we thought I was going to have to keep that. So I was going to have to leave my kids with my mom for a while and go to work. I was able to quit that. Whenever I hit the top 3% of the company, I hit manager. And, the money that I was making from there, I made way more than that with Monat. Able to do that. I earned that all-inclusive trip to Cancun, but I was not able to go. And the reason being was because I had my Mr. Brooks Michael, and I actually had him at home in my living room. So for anybody who knows anything about home births, they're not cheap. It's like $4,500. And I didn't decide I was going to do a home birth until about 30 weeks. So I had 10 weeks to pay $4,500, and Monat funded the entire thing. We are now following Dave Ramsey, and we have built an emergency fund. We have paid off, same for us, almost all of our medical debt that we had, working on student loans and car payments and stuff now. But that's something we never would have imagined being able to do. Paying medical bills. That is, like, we never imagined being able to do that. It has fully funded all of that. And now, this month, I will be first month qualified for a free Cadillac. Which, if you guys remember at the beginning of this, like, we had to upgrade a car to be able to fit our twin girls. And I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really fit all 3 kids now. So we need a bigger car. So that Cadillac Escalade is going to be mine here in August. So, like, it's insane. The things, I never would have imagined that this is the stuff that would have happened 2.5 years ago. By joining a freaking direct sales company. Can we just talk about that for a second? Like, it's a direct sales company. What is even going on? And I know there's so many other girls on here who have gotten so many things from this. So if I had to give one piece of advice, obviously, yeah, just do it. But, like, keep your blinders on. What is it that you're wanting out of life? So, like, my next goal in this business, I've been able to stay home full time. I have been able to go on free trips, and I'm about to get a free car, and, all these things. So my next goal, retire my husband so he can go home and do what he wants. He wants to be a football coach, but that requires him going to school. He went to school for a year, and then we had babies, so he had to go out and get a big boy job. So, and that's not what he wants to do. He wants to do so much more that requires time. And I want to give that gift to him because he has provided to us during this time that we needed him. So it's my turn to provide for him. And I'm able to do that while staying at home with my kids and working my business from the toilet. Like, how ridiculous is that? So that's my next goal, is retiring my husband after getting this car, and I want you to think about what it is that you want, however big, however small. Maybe you just want to pay for groceries. Maybe you want to pay for the electric bill. Maybe you do want a free car. Maybe you do want to travel, or, you've never gotten to travel before. You want to do all the things. Or maybe you don't have friends. Like, whatever that is, you need to keep your blinders on and just go for it. How bad do you want that? I want you to think about that. And what are you willing to do to get that? So yeah. That's what I've got for you guys. Do you guys have any closing words? Okay. Well, we've been on for a very hot minute, and I'll be honest, like, I appreciate you guys for staying on for so long. I did not expect this to go this long, but I feel like this was really good conversation. I'm happy you did this. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to message, if I invited you to this call or anything like that. Thank you for spending your time with us. And yeah, we hope to see you on our team here soon because you're going to love it. So, okay. Good night, guys. Have a good Saturday. Love you.
Good night.